Hello, and welcome to our Hope Innovation Network, Cohort 3, Request for Applications informational webinar. I appreciate you taking the time to come to this today. My name is Allison Stevens, and I work at the Hope National Resource Center. This will be recorded, so we're recording right now, and it will be available on demand on our website if you want to come back to this information, or if for some reason you're unable to attend today. So really quickly, our topics for today, we're going to just give a little overview about HOPE, about the Hope Innovation Network, which we call HIN, the eligibility to apply, the funding available, and the application information. So about HOPE. HOPE is healthy outcomes from positive experiences. And it's based on this concept that positive childhood experiences can help children grow into healthier adults, even when adverse childhood experiences, often called ACEs, are present. So we use research to promote the types of positive childhood experiences, or PCEs, that will have the greatest impact for children and families. And those are called the 4 building blocks of HOPE. The 4 building blocks of HOPE are 1, relationships, environments, engagement, and emotional growth. So when we talk about relationships, that includes relationships with other children and with other adults outside of the home through interpersonal activities. Number 2 is safe, equitable, and stable environments for living, playing, and learning at home and in school. The 3rd building block is about social and civic engagement. This really helps children to develop a sense of belonging and connectedness. And one way to think about that is, involvement in a team sport or in the faith community, that feeling of being connected to something greater and having that sense of civic engagement is really important. And finally, emotional growth through playing and interacting with peers for self-awareness and self-regulation. So now that we know a little bit about HOPE as a framework, let's talk a little bit about the Hope Innovation Network, or HIN. HIN is really a group of organizations and agencies that come together under the guidance of the Hope National Resource Center to undertake a time-limited HOPE implementation project. Right now, we are recruiting for our 3rd cohort of HIN participants. So HIN 3 activities, 1, they start in January of 2023. It will run for 6 to 12 months, which will include evaluation. So we'll have the formal meetings and trainings for that first 6 months, perhaps 7, depending on how things go. And then the rest of that time is really follow up, getting an opportunity to connect with us again to make sure that implementation is going well, but also doing some assessments, participating in focus groups, just so that we can have that adequate program evaluation. This year, our project focus is to pilot test the HOPE certification process. So this is something that's completely brand new. And we want to see how it will work with organizations. And so we thought it'd be a great opportunity with HIN 3 to be able to pilot it in a way that gives a really guided approach, including organizational assessment, trainings that you would need, and process improvement to help your organization get to that point. And no matter what, at the end of the day, any organization that participates in HIN 3 will be HOPE certified at the end of the process. So why should you participate? In addition to all the things that we just discussed, HIN participants will also receive fee waiver for full access to the HOPE Learning Management System. So it's our online courses. a fee waiver to register for HOPE trainings that offer CEUs. And this is during the 6 to 12 month period. And then continued technical assistance from the HOPE National Resource Center after the project ends. So we talked a little bit about that because everyone's going to be making these changes within their organization to be more HOPE informed. And there's no cutoff of now that we've finished or you've gone through the 6 months, that's it. You'll still need to connect with the HOPE National Resource Center along the way, and we'll be there to support you with technical assistance. And finally, reduced fees, 50% off for the Train the Facilitator program, which includes that facilitation certification. Now, who can apply? So organizations that support or serve children, youth, and families are eligible to apply. And so that is a very broad statement, and we want it to remain that way. So we want to get a variety of different diverse organizations, and examples have included out-of-school programs or after-school programs. We've had pediatric practices and also early childhood education providers. Off the top of my head, I also know that we've had a K through 12 school, a substance use program for youth, and other types of organizations. So if your organization or agency serves children, youth, and families, you are eligible to apply. And additionally, organizations that support or serve diverse families are encouraged to apply. Once you're accepted for participation, you'll receive a one-time stipend of $2,500 to support project completion. So there's going to be some time commitment. There's work that's going to go into this. And so we want to be able to offer some kind of financial support to offset that commitment to the HOPE Innovation Project within your organization. Applications are due by November 15th at 8 p.m. Eastern. So that is actually just 5 p.m. Pacific. We have an electronic application form. And if you have any issues with the application, so if there are technical issues with accessing the application form, if there's a question on there that just maybe doesn't make sense or you feel like it doesn't apply to your organization, please reach out to me, Allison Stevens. And my email address is astevens1@tuftsmedicalcenter.org, and I can provide you with assistance for the application. So what will we be asking? Many of you may have already clicked on that application. Some of you may not, but just to give you an idea of the types of questions that we're asking. The first one is, how did you learn about the HOPE framework? Have you attended any trainings from the HOPE National Resource Center? So some of you may have heard about HOPE because you attended a conference where we presented or your organization sponsored training. And so we wanted just to hear about that. What is your background and how did you come to HOPE? We also would like to hear about the children and families that you serve, what you or your organization would bring to the HOPE Innovation Network, because it really truly is a network. And so we want the organizations to be able to support each other. And, so we want to make sure that everyone is coming prepared to share and to grow together as you move through the HOPE certification process. How would the HOPE certification impact your organization overall and or the children and families you serve? What do you hope to gain from the participation in the HOPE Innovation Network? And the other thing is that you'll need to identify a contact person to attend biweekly meetings. Ideally, this is going to be the same person. However, we understand that there are going to be scenarios where that's not possible. Sometimes there's turnover or other things happen. So if your application is accepted, we will need written support from organizational leadership, because if something like that happens and there's turnover, we want to make sure that someone else is going to be assigned and you can continue on in this process. So with that, again, you can reach out to me with any questions. I think the chat is available. So if anyone has any immediate questions, you can go ahead and put those in now, and I'm happy to respond. Okay, thank you for attending the webinar. Please let me know if you need any assistance. Okay, I see a question. There's a hand raised. Yes. What's the time commitment for the biweekly meetings? So the time commitment for the biweekly meetings is 1.5 hours. We try to wrap it up within an hour, but sometimes might roll over, run over, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. So we want to make sure that we have that time blocked off. But generally speaking, the biweekly meetings are 1.5 hours. The weeks that we don't have meetings, so those off weeks, what we have are office hours. So it will be very similar to this, where Laura and I will be in a Zoom room and you can pop in and ask questions and get clarification, or, just if you need insight or support, technical assistance, clarification, whatever that is. So we are available on those off weeks through office hours. Yes, we're a very large public health department. Can only one division apply for the HEN? Yes, of course. So one of the things that you'll do is kind of define your organization, which is why that's kind of one of the questions about, tell us about, your organization. Because as I said, we've had organizations that are like a pediatric practice. We've also had organizations that are like a chapter of a huge national brand. And so we really do need you to define if you're talking about like the whole national organization, or if it's, your department that you run, or some other variation. So you do get the opportunity to define the organization. And so, yes, only one division can apply for HEN. Okay, so the next question is, could you please tell me if this will be offered again next year? It'd be tough to manage this year, but don't want to miss out. And so absolutely, this is our 3rd year of the Hope Innovation Network. And so, yes, we are planning to offer it yet again next year. Of course, we don't know exactly what the project will be, but it will be informed by the process that we go through this Hope certification through HEN 3. So you can definitely reach out to me, and I will make sure that you get information when the time comes. And I can also, if you're interested, keep you, kind of in the loop on some of the things that we're doing in HEN 3. And finally, can you start the application and return to it saved at a later time, or does it have to all be completed at once? And yes, you can start the application and come back to it as many times as you need to until you click submit. So you do not have to sit down with all of the information at once. I know all of us are busy, we have things going on. And if you're working with children and families, things that are unexpected can happen. And so yes, we have set up the form so that you can come in and out as needed. Okay, it looks like those are all the questions. I'm going to give it another few seconds here just to make sure, but please remember you can always contact me. I'm going to put my email address here. It is astevens1@tuftsmedicalcenter.org. And again, my name is Allison. Thank you so much for attending. And like I said, this will be available to you on our website within the next day or so that you can come back to it on demand. Have a nice afternoon. Thank you.